Welcome back, Sophie, to the Taskmaster podcast.
Thank you for having me in your very hot sauna.
Sauna. It feels like a sauna today.
Sauna.
Yeah, it's really when the regret kicks in of deciding to record it in the caravan, and it's quite warm today.
It's warm.
We're hitting over 20 degrees today,
Woo.
which is lovely outside, but in what is essentially a glass box.
It's quite a lot. I've also realised there's a colony of like little ladybugs.
The
next to me.
ladybugs hang out, yeah, but they were here before us, so I don't feel like we can do anything about them.
And that's the rule.
Yes, that's the rule. How do you feel about ladybirds?
I feel good about it.
Yeah?
I'm really charmed by them. I
Okay.
feel like they'll whisper to me during the podcast.
Yeah, well, they've seen the whole series, so hopefully they don't give any spoilers. Because they were here when it was being filmed.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Wow.
They didn't go to the studio, to be fair. We are, of course, talking about Taskmaster Series 19, our brand new lineup, episode 3. How do you feel about this new lineup?
I think it's the first time, and I was saying this to you before, that I've watched an episode of Taskmaster and been like, hey, I'm not involved. It's not my, like, I realised it was series 13 when I was on it.
So that's
It's
a
taken
lot.
5 series for me to be like, why didn't I look under the table more? Why didn't I bring better gifts?
Gifts.
Prize toss.
Yeah, Alex does not
Yeah.
like it when they're referred to as gifts.
I just watched it and I was like, this is an absolute delight. I think there's such a good mix of people.
So now you feel sort of removed enough from the process.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, what's this show called? Yeah, I'll check it out.
They are an excellent group of people. And yeah, I think even though I do the podcast, I'm now at the stage where I can relax and not even think, how would I have done that? I would have done that better.
Oh, you've transcended. You've become Taskmaster Zen. You're like...
Exactly.
Because that is the fun of, I think, people watching it, to be like, how would I do it better?
I don't do that. No. No. I should do for this podcast, but now I just let it happen. I watch people mess up. I mean, we do have... in this episode, probably
some great...
the thing that made me laugh the most, an accidental literal slip up. But we will get to that. We will get to that.
Oh,
so let's talk about the prize task for this episode. The best thing for a middle-aged man to keep on his bedside table.
yeah.
A lovely category. And you do think, how does Alex come up with these?
Yeah, how he's really digging deep.
Yeah. But this one feels like he reached for something on his bedside table and he didn't have all the things he needed, maybe.
And he was like, okay, that's a task.
Yeah.
I think constantly it must be like, that's a task. If something happens to it, someone says... Yeah.
How does he turn it off? That must be so awful day to day, just constantly having to think about tasks.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think Alex actually has a lovely life. I was going to say there would be other things in his life that are more terrible than thinking about tasks, but I think I
think he has a lovely life.
I think it's a constant joy.
Yeah.
Another task. Fall from the sky. Post. Another task.
Why not? Also, he's probably loaded. It's a good category, this. I mean, I feel like as a man who is in middle age / approaching,
creeping towards.
I feel like, the sorts of things I'd like on my bedside table. I'm not sure any of them are covered here, to be honest. How do we feel about their efforts this time, Sophie?
Okay, Stevie, the quill.
Yes.
I think that could have gone either way.
Do you?
I think, because it's kind of like the vinyl of pens. It's kind of like, I was like, oh, you dumb bitch, but also I see it. I was like, I feel like quite an affinity with Stevie.
Yeah.
I think because she's got cool hair.
Yes.
And I was like, I see what you were going for, but it was so instantly, obviously crap.
Yeah.
But I think it could have appealed. I was like, I see I see it.
I understood that her motivation was mystery and intrigue.
Yeah.
But I don't see how a quill provides that.
Yeah, surely a scroll.
A scroll, but then she was even saying, and then you can look over and be like, oh, that's mysterious. But it's not, because you've put it there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you like to put a quill here.
Yeah.
But it's not, a quill is not mysterious.
Yeah, it's only mysterious if you did not put
If
it
someone
there.
else put the quill there.
Yeah.
You'd have to put the quill on there.
A bad 1 point.
A bad 1 point, and also I really feel like the sort of middle-aged man who might have a quill on his bedside table is not ideal.
Yes, I think I have a name for this genre of man. I don't know. I think you might have been formerly this kind of man. I don't know if you are.
Please tell me. Yeah. I might be currently.
It's a methinks.
It's a methinks.
It's a
trilby. It's a methinks.
Yes, a methinks.
It's tipping the peak of a trilby.
It's a little bit steampunk.
Yeah. It's a waistcoat in summer.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I wasn't.
You weren't. Okay.
But yes, I think we all agree that Stevie sort of missed the mark here a little bit. But Stevie is very funny when she's messed up.
Yes.
Constant chaos swirling around her. But probably,
also just yelling, fuck.
Yeah, fuck. There's a lot of those. Let's talk about Rosie, who got the 2 points. Let's go from the bottom of the league table up. I really liked Rosie's. I was surprised it got the 2 points because it made me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
The sex curtain over the picture of the mum.
The sex curtain really saved it because the picture was, why was she playing piano?
Such a weird picture.
Also, I think it was kind of charming that her picture of middle-aged men is her boys.
Yeah, it's sweet, but also, worrying that they would not speak to her anymore was quite sad.
Yeah.
Quite emotional. But I know she was joking about like the sex curtain and putting the photo next to them. But I think she also really meant it. I think she would absolutely do that.
Do you have any photos of loved ones who are not the loved one that you're in the bedroom with?
In the bedroom?
In the bedroom.
No, I don't think I do.
No,
I think it's just a couple of wedding pics and then just some art.
I've face downed before. I've I've just been like, no, this is a house of forgetfulness. I've also had Greg in there.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you face down?
Well, it's a 3D. It's sort of just like a gold head rolling
about. Of course,
yeah.
You can't face down the trophy, can you?
Yeah, they've got to stare him in the eye. I think it helps some people.
Yeah. Also, it's a powerful object to have in there as well, right? Yeah. You can't face down the trophy though. But no, I thought this was very funny, but God, creepy if a middle-aged man has a picture of his mum next to his bed.
Creepy picture, creepy vibe.
Creepy vibe. Creepy lady.
Everyone's creepy.
It was 3 points for Matthew Bainton, a book of poetry. And it really struck me in this moment when he was talking about the book of poetry how similar he is to his character from Ghosts.
Okay, yeah.
Sweet, like poetic,
sweet nerd.
Thoughtful nerd. And the book is Devotions by Mary Oliver, and When Death Comes was the only poem he could think of.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. How are we feeling about that? A middle-aged man having a book of poetry? Because I hate this. Is probably me being, anti-intelligentsia or deliberately thicko.
Yeah.
But I feel like a middle-aged man with a poetry book by his bed. That's a little creepoid to me. It's very affected.
Yeah,
it's very affected.
It was like tell me you've got a quill without telling me you've got.
It's quill coded.
It's quill coded. Yeah. It's like, hey, I'm a normal guy, but open some of these drawers, you might find a feather with a nib on it. I think it was actually the one thing that he maybe did this episode that made me dislike. I believe that he loves poetry. And I believe that he loves that poetry book, and it sounds good.
Yeah,
I was just like, don't be so. Don't put something you actually love in the. I don't know.
But also, I think the act of leaving a book of poetry out on the bedside table is very much like, look at the sort of guy I am.
Yeah.
It's a bit icky, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it got through.
Creep number 3.
God, they're all creeps this year. 3 points, but it's good. We got it out of the way. That's the only thing that made you dislike him. We're fine.
Oh, I loved him this episode.
Fatia, this is one of my favourite prize tasks ever, I think, because it is weird, like Greg says. An orange with the word audacity written on it, because middle-aged men have so much audacity. They should juice the orange and then drink it in the morning. To keep it inside them.
This made no sense and should have got 2 points.
But with the fervour with which she said it almost
you're just
created
like,
sense.
Sure. By drinking something, you get less of it. That makes sense. Obviously, it's an orange, the most audacious fruit.
I think it's internalising it though. So instead of letting it out during the day, you've drunk it. So you're not carrying around.
What, like a pokeball of audacity?
Yeah. So you're not carrying around the orange of audacity.
Yeah.
You've juiced it and you've drunk it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'm not. I won't back it. I back Fatia.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But I think they're now picking their battles with her.
Yeah.
Because they know that if they take her on, they're getting absolutely cut down. They're being scythed down.
And also, you can't be audacious in response to men of too much audacity.
Yeah, she absolutely hamstrung them there. That was great. And the 5 points goes to Jason, who really appealed to Greg, I think. I think he knows what a middle-aged man wants.
I was impressed by that.
Yeah, it's a torch to go to the toilet so you don't wake yourself up in the night. For a while, I thought Jason was being really kind to whoever he's in the bedroom with.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought as well. It's like, you don't want to wake them up.
Yeah, but it's to not wake himself up. Even though then the logic of it of you don't want to wake yourself up by turning the light on, but this torch has 200,000 lumens.
Yeah, the power of 1,000 iPhones.
Doesn't quite make sense.
I also think I don't want to see my toilet in like high definition.
No.
It's a clean toilet, I think, as they go, but also just...
Yeah. It's like going to the toilet in the middle of the night with a UV light. That would be a worse option.
Oh, God. I sometimes go in the dark.
I know where my toilet is.
You banked it.
I could go with the sleep mask on.
You could do it with just the sense of your nose.
Yeah. It stinks. But it was 5 points for Jason. Greg also loves gadgets, and I think that's a good way to go.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. So 1 point to Stevie, 2 points to Rosie, 3 points to Matthew, 4 points to Fatia, and 5 points to Jason. Task 1. Here we go. Answer the cheese phone. Every time you move, Alex will play the French horn. If you choose to only use your sense of smell, Alex will not play the French horn, and your final time will be halved. Fastest wins. Now, this is mad.
Yeah. I feel like the prize tasks have gotten more like, say what Alex immediately sees when he wakes up out of bed, and the tasks are just incomprehensible.
Yeah. Chaos. I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, this is brilliant, because I think he must have worked from... It would be funny if every time someone walked, a French horn played, because that is funny.
That is funny.
Like, no matter which way you look at it. But the cheese
phone.
And then all those puns of the bees phone and the knees phone. And he's doing that a lot this series, where he's doing puns deliberately to annoy people, because people hate them when they're doing it.
Yeah.
Would you have enjoyed this one, Sophie?
I think... I'd like to think I'd have been a nose guy.
Yeah.
But I'm congested right now. The ladybugs know.
Yeah.
It's hay fever season. I would be, if I chose to go only with the nose, I would be I'd be a sack of flesh rolling around the house.
No senses whatsoever.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose if you were filming in the winter, you go nose. Summer, you've got to use the other senses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I think I might have gone nose out of just a sort of bold feeling of like, I think I can
smell my way to
I've got
success.
a good nose.
I
think I can. Yeah. Even though my nose is small, it's sensitive. I can smell cheese.
Yeah, I worry that I would have chosen the French horn, because that looked a lot harder.
The French horn would have driven me up the wall.
Yeah.
I think I would have physically attacked Alex with the French horn. It would have really, really annoyed me. And I think as a viewer, I found the bees and knees and peas phone really funny. Yeah. But I think as a contestant, I would have gone absolutely apeshit at him. That would have been really bad. Quite a few people choose the horn. So Fatia, Jason, and Rosie choose the horn.
That was a beautiful pullback and reveal
of Rosie. The edit was so funny.
I was like, that surprised me.
Yeah.
When she got it, I was like,
wow.
Okay.
She's suddenly competent.
Yeah. She's entirely different from how I assumed.
But she eventually nails it. Like, she eventually gets there. But after answering the phones 22 times, answering the same phone more than once is the definition of madness, when it's clearly a pun and a joke. Yeah. Just incredible. But and also what really made me laugh, the first time she answers the phones, she always says, "Hello, Rosie speaking," which was so sweet.
Hey, it's Big Mum energy.
Yeah, I was like, she's got a landline. That is a lady with a landline. But then eventually starts to get very annoyed and just says hello.
Yeah. I saw a little bit, I think, a bit of like, she knew it wasn't right when they showed her first edit. That little sadness where it's like, ha-ha-dee, ha-ha.
That's not how I remember it happening. But there's always that hope in that situation as well, that you might be like, maybe that's just what they're going to do. Yeah. Maybe they're showing the edit just because it's more interesting. Maybe I've just got to pretend that's what happened. Yeah. And then no. Gutted. Absolutely gutted. Jason continues to be, I think, he's heading towards the most psychopathic contestant.
Yeah. What did he do with this one?
I mean, he runs away from Alex for a start, which I thought was really
he's like,
smart. Just get away from him as much as possible. But he stumbles across this new thing for this year, which is a task under the table.
Yes.
That they can find at any time.
That would make me furious.
Yeah. It's because Alex is now obviously caught wind of the fact the advice is from previous contestants, always look under the table. Yeah. So he is punishing people for looking under the table with this incredibly long thing that you have to read out loud.
I sort of enjoyed it, but I was like, okay,
Yeah.
we've reached peak table.
Yeah. It's the end of the table.
Yeah.
That's it now. You can't ever look under the table again. And the magic moustache, which we've not seen before as well. You've got to wear a magic moustache.
That was nice. Kind of, I think it was less alarming for him to wear the moustache out of all of the contestants, I think.
Well, I'd forgot he put it on.
Yeah.
Because it just blended in perfectly with his current moustache. But yes, very good. Fatia chooses the horn as well. Again, I thought she was going to get more angry than she actually did. But they all eventually find the cheese phone. Stevie and Matthew both choose just the sense of smell. We'll talk about Stevie quickly because she smashes it.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's straight to the
straight to the cheese.
6 minutes 44, and she smashes some stuff up, but high risk, high yield, as she says.
Yeah.
And the yield is huge.
The yield was some disgusting cheese.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be quite scared without all my senses. But both she and but I think Matthew was rolling around like a
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
Like a little
I've
hedgehog.
saved Matthew till last.
Yeah, so it's
For a very good reason.
She was so cool and calm, and
she's almost more competent with only her sense of smell.
This is true.
I feel like she should have proceeded throughout the rest of the tasks with just
a nose.
With just a nose. I think that would have worked even better for her. But yes, she finds it. She's very proud of herself, as she should be, and her time is halved to 3 minutes 22. Matthew finds it, 21 minutes, so quite long, but we need to talk about the wardrobe malfunction.
Oh boy. Hey.
He did not know about us. We had him on the last episode. We couldn't talk about this yet.
Okay, all right.
But he did not know that this had happened until he was in the studio watching himself back on the screen.
Incredible.
So this is the first time he realised his nuts fell out. Was the same time the nation, well, the studio certainly saw his.
That is incredible.
Yeah,
that is incredible.
Yeah.
Because I've thought it before. The Taskmaster crew, what a bunch of little pervs.
What a huge bunch of pervs.
Hey.
You listeners don't know. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. We've all got our nuts out all the time. They're always watching.
They're always watching.
They're always like, it'll never make the edit.
Yeah. Like, just pop them out because it's not going to go in the edit. It's just to get the camera grading right. They make up some technical stuff, don't they? Yeah. Get your nuts out. But yeah, mortifying.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would have felt if that was me. Very funny.
Hey, I feel like if we want a charity auction off that footage, we could change the world.
Yeah, the unedited footage.
Yeah.
The director's cut.
I want to see it real bad.
Yeah.
Andy?
Well, I tell you who I feel good for is Phil Wang.
Oh yeah.
For years, Phil Wang was the genitalia-based Taskmaster contestant.
Yeah, because of just because it was very bulged.
Very bulged.
Very tight.
Very bulged, and you can see shapes.
But was that intentional? No,
it wasn't. Because the first time Wang found out about that was when he did the team task day, and Rod and James said, "Have you been wearing that the whole time? We can see your fucking balls." And by then it was far too late. And obviously Matthew never got that opportunity because the team task day they stayed in place.
Yes.
But I think now he is the king of the TM.
The king of swing.
The king of swing. King of the TM Jennies.
I think he handled it with grace in the studio.
He did, absolutely. Yeah. I would have walked off or got them out again. But yeah, it remains to be seen. We may, it's very much seen, but will we see them again?
I hope so.
Will there be another cameo? They are dangerously short shorts. But he finds the cheese in 21 minutes, halved to 10 minutes 30, which means it's 1 point for Jason, 2 points for Rosie, 3 points for Fatia, 4 points for Matthew. I think Alex says that was worth it. And 5 points for Stevie. Task 2. I think this is given the results, one of the hardest tasks that there's been this series so far. Move the most cushions from one bin to another bin without Alex correctly seeing what colour cape you're wearing. This is insane again. You must be wearing a cape on the outside of your clothes throughout. You may not move the bins. If a cushion touches the ground, the task is over. Alex will alternately open and shut his eyes for as many seconds as there are letters in each of the words in the tasks. You have 6 minutes. Your time starts when Alex blows his whistle. Baffling.
Yeah, didn't understand this at all. Didn't remember any of the rules. I was basically like, it's grandmother's footsteps.
Yes.
And Alex's granny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a very basic children's game with so many caveats and weird extra rules added to it to baffle them a little bit. that I don't think anyone was ever going to get this.
It was... okay, it's all coming back to me now. It was amazing watching them fail, though.
Yeah.
It was so
great.
amazing.
Because they all failed in completely different ways. Yeah.
Can we talk about Rosie?
Yeah, let's talk about Rosie straight away, because this made me scream laughing.
It's so good. It is so... I hate this because this is like our job, but it's so funny to watch people fall over.
It's the funniest thing out there. We'll never be able to do it because it always has to be accidental, but it's funnier than any comedy anyone can ever write.
I was like, this is the genre.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah, pure slapstick.
Oh,
Dropping one cushion, slipping on it, and then falling face first into a pile of other cushions. Perfect.
Perfect and so safe.
So safe, although she does mention that she has a really bad bruise on her hip.
Oh, no.
And that she wanted to send to Alex, but she didn't know if she could because he's married. A little exclusive, I have received the picture of the bruise.
Oh my God.
It's a big bruise.
Oh,
She really did.
No, oh no.
She really did hurt herself. And I want to say, yes, I am married. I think it's fine because the picture of Rosie's hip came through Chris Ramsey, her husband.
Okay, yeah.
So
It's a classic cuck bruise situation.
I've cuck bruised him. But yeah, it's a big old bruise. So she did get a little bit injured, but it was so funny. It was totally worth it.
Yeah.
And failed so quickly as well, like because she dropped all the cushions.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
was
just
like
one
also
cushion.
like the second window.
Yeah. Just boom, gone. Task over.
Yeah.
So funny.
I feel very different from Chris in the success rate.
Yeah.
And in like the general approach.
Yeah.
But
very different. And competitiveness, I think, as well.
Yeah.
But outstanding. I think it's so worth it. And I wanted to watch that be replayed over and over again.
Yeah.
And I can. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to channel4.com and I'm going to watch it all over again. But yeah, a lot of failures. Everyone failed. Fatty, can we talk about Fatty as lean round the corner?
Oh, what
the little peak.
Hey. If I walk down any corner and I see Fatty doing that, I'm like, it's a party.
Yeah.
It was so very cool.
Very cool. Because Alex couldn't see the cape or whatever, and she needs to check to see if he's looking. Just a little peek round, so slow, and then back in again.
I think that was the peak of someone who didn't understand the looking rule.
Yeah,
is he looking now?
I don't. Yeah. I wouldn't have done because you've got to remember the amount of letters in a word.
That's how I feel like the other two of the others got caught.
Yeah, I think so. Because I'll just go on a whistle and hope it's the one where his eyes are shut. That's certainly what happens with Stevie. Because so confidently she walks across the middle window, the big doorway. She's like, right, whistle, here I go. And he's just watching her do it.
Yeah.
It's so funny. But yes, failure for Fatty and Stevie. Jason, this was frustrating to watch.
Yeah. Oh.
Because it was so smart.
Yeah, but I think I may have done where you're smart for one moment.
Yeah.
And you enjoy all the being smart while forgetting the basic thing.
Yeah. Because the idea that he could have stood behind Alex to taunt him, which was joyous to watch, and then carried on walking and just put it straight in the bin would have been amazing, wouldn't it? That would have been incredible. But instead, for some reason, he panicked, thought it wasn't going to work, threw the cushions. Really, really just... I mean, he says as much. It's very frustrating to watch, but almost worth it just for the bit where he's standing right behind Alex and Alex doesn't know that he's there. Really good.
He could have... No. I was like, he could have tied the cape round his eyes. But then he would have immediately known what colour it was.
I was thinking that, but he could have taken one of the other capes.
Oh, true.
And draped... I wouldn't have thought of this in the moment, but when you're watching it for the third time, for example, you do think maybe go around the back of Alex, drape a cape over his eyes. There's nothing to say that Alex can't just remove that straight away.
Yeah.
There's also, I think, Rosie was trying to carry them all at once, using a spare cape as a bindle situation.
Oh, and then they never touch the floor.
They never touch the floor. So you've got a bindle of things.
I can't believe you used the word bindle without even... I mean, I know it's a book, without even batting an eyelid.
Hey, I think about the word bindle a lot. Stick and bindle. Like Dick Whittington. I think that there's other things they could have done, but in the panic of this moment, they had 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're not going to stand there.
Oh, okay.
You're not going to stand there and go, maybe a bindle.
Maybe a bindle. You would have. Bindle, like Dick Whittington, the famous cut.
Maybe I'll Whittington this one, and then maybe I'll go around the back of Alex and put a cape over his head. No, I think you just do whatever the first thing is in your head. Matt, again, very frustrating to watch because he comes up with, I mean, not a perfect system. I'd hate to do that. It looked really painful.
Yeah.
to go across the floor on your back.
I was watching that. I was like, this man is stupendous.
Yeah.
This is incredible.
Really good. All of that grossness from the poetry just gone in the wind at that
dissipated.
moment. Yeah, it was amazing to sort of scoot along on his back, and gets 4 cushions in, does really well, and then that brutal.
Yeah.
The brutal. We've got another video to show you, and he just moves the bin for no reason.
He just moves it for no reason. When I watched that, I was so angry. I was like, well, no one gets any points. Does that mean we did all this for nothing? And then I was like, oh, that's the premise of the show.
Yeah, that's the premise of the show. Yeah.
No, what? No points for anyone? Nothing means anything.
Everything we have done on Taskmaster is for nothing. Regardless, if we get points, that's still for nothing overall. Yeah. But yeah, that was disappointing to see, and I think Matt really engenders quite a protective feeling from the audience.
Yeah.
Quite a lot, because he does have that fawnish quality to him.
Yeah.
So if something goes wrong for him, they do want to protect him.
Yeah. But hey, there's no protecting that man.
No protecting that man or his nuts. So it was easy. It was 0 points for everyone.
Yeah.
What a shame.
Yeah, felt unjust. I felt sad.
I felt sad, but it was a beautiful task to watch.
Yeah.
I feel like, an incredible location, this series.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little abandoned church. Fantastic. Task 3. Paint the best picture of the Taskmaster and his assistant having fun on the canvas in the lab. You may only enter the lab when there are 30 seconds left in the task. You have 15 minutes. Your time starts now. A great task, I think. I don't think I would have done well in this at all.
No.
I think I would have ended up just waiting 15 minutes and then running in and trying to paint something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought,
yeah.
you've given me 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That must be to plan something. So in that sense, I think everyone did quite well. I want to talk about what Rosie and Fatia did.
Oh, yeah. They sort of immediately need to do that.
Yeah.
Like a little stamp.
Yeah. It's the stamp system.
What I did think is with both of them is like when they did the stamp and they put it on, they were both like, yeah, that's it. And I was like, no, that is still bad.
It's a bad painting, yeah.
It's about, you still have paint and you could...
You got time to do stuff around it,
but they were like, yeah, just one.
Yeah. But I think with Rosie's it was quite good, and the satisfaction of just going boop onto the canvas, and then
it's very elegant. It's a flourish.
Yeah, it really is a flourish. And it was sort of the same system that I think Stevie was trying to use, but she was trying to do it at distance with a duck.
Yeah.
A potato print by throwing a duck at it.
I think she had the same thought train at me, which is like, what's artist? Okay, Pollock, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Potato printing, that's the second artist.
Yeah.
Can't think of any more artists.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just all over the place. Would you have thought of the stamp system?
No.
100%
no. I think I would have tried to get the easel towards me.
Yeah.
And I think I'd probably have failed at that and then had to run in, and I can't remember who did. Wait, it was
Matt managed to pull the easel towards him. He didn't use the easel retrieval system, which was up there. Frustrating.
This feels like a very camera angles. How are they meant to see it?
Yeah. There's no way. Yeah. It's literally there. It's not there for people to see it. It's there for Alex to feel smug about it afterwards and show one of those shots where everyone goes, what a bunch of idiots. I did love Fatia's story about painting her room in Batman colours.
Oh my god.
Because this is a layer to Fatia I did not realise.
Yeah.
We've got her on the next episode, so I will ask her about her Batman obsession. But she painted her room in Batman colours.
Black and yellow and black.
Yeah, black and yellow and black.
Whoa.
Which are Batman colours, to be fair.
Yeah.
But then had a lot of Batman memorabilia as well. Would you have thought this of Fatia?
I would never have. I feel like she'd fit in Gotham.
Yeah. She'd be a supervillain. Yeah.
Yeah. But I find that so charming.
Yeah, really charming. I love it. And I absolutely loved her painting as well, that it was dripping down. And it's a thing that's been used in Taskmaster in the past where you pivot when something's bad and say it's about climate change.
Yeah.
That has happened before.
It did feel like there was a crisis going on.
Well, it certainly feels relevant now, being sat in this caravan.
Yeah. Oh.
In April, and it is roasting in here. Feels like we're in a pizza oven. So, but yeah, I thought the stamp system was excellent. But Rosie's, she does it. She's so proud of it.
Yeah.
And as she walks out, the easel falls to the floor and ruins the painting a little bit.
I think it's lucky that happened because it wasn't that good and it was embarrassing. She was that proud. It was. I think it was a perfectly executed idea.
Yes.
I think she was so smart to think of it, and I think it did sort of work, but it just wasn't. It wasn't good enough in any iteration.
She seemed to think it was better after it had fallen off the easel.
I think that was saving face in the studio. I think it's heartbreaking. I had something fall off Greg's head during my series.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd smashed that task.
Yeah.
I thought it was like melt some, or no, it was like get something to fall on something really quickly, and I like left a hairdryer.
Yeah.
And it melted, but it just fell wrong, and so it didn't. Like it was such a great scheme.
It's so annoying, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they're kind to her. They show her painting before it fell and after, and she seems to think it's better after. But yeah, it's pretty gutting. But that is an interesting way of looking at it. That thank God it fell off because it was rubbish.
Thank God. She would have been so embarrassed to present that work.
So Stevie does go slightly insane and squeeze. Once you've squeezed the bottle the first time, it's all over, really, isn't it? I think.
But Alex, also agent of chaos. Like she was like, "Should I stop?" The answer was, "Yes, you're creating a mess and lots of work for everyone."
Yeah.
He was like,
"You started now."
Yeah, he started.
I think you've always got to imagine that Alex is not helpful, because Alex is thinking about the edit. He's thinking about what other people have done so far. He's thinking about if someone's doing something different, that's what he wants.
Yeah.
So I remember sitting in this caravan and saying, I had to make my knees look like a famous couple.
Right.
And I said, Mitchell Brothers, like that. And his eyes widened. And I went, oh no, I shouldn't go with my first thought. And he just nodded for ages because he was like, yeah, that would be funny. Do the Mitchell Brothers.
Okay.
Like, that's not helpful.
Yeah.
And I think I shaved my knees. I think it was him who suggested it. Do you want me to go and get a razor and you can shave your knees?
Oh, wow.
So he's working behind the scenes in his mind, you know. He is a total agent of chaos.
Do you remember how many points you got for that?
It wasn't 5, I tell you that. Maybe 3, but my knees bled really badly. So it had to be the Mitchell Brothers after they'd been in a fight. Because
a raw shave.
Yeah, I'm not used to.
You're not used to shaving your knees.
Shaving my knees.
Hey.
My knees, my knees remain fairly smooth on a daily basis.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, that's actually very brave, and thank you for saying it.
Yeah, I don't shave my legs. Goodness knows what women have to go through when they shave their legs.
Okay, this is getting a bit that and the prize task.
And I'm going to go home and I'm going to read my poetry by a female poet.
We don't say poetess.
We don't say poetess, no.
Yeah,
Everyone's
sometimes I just call them poets. I barely even noticed the poems aren't about war.
No, I don't even like war poetry, actually.
Oh,
I like poems about...
horses is a bit male, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit male. Depending on if they got one of those ones with bows in their hair. So, all right.
Yeah, good. We've done what we can for feminism.
Yes. Stevie's was mad, throwing the duck at it. But, as has happened a lot this series, you think Stevie's going to be the most chaotic, and then Jason enters the chat.
Hey.
He scared me in this.
Wait, I'm trying to remember what it looked like. I can only remember him moving around. What did his
was
like nothing.
His painting was terrible.
Painting terrible.
Well, he gave Greg a big dick, and he gave.
Oh
Alex
yes,
strong
that's what he
legs.
kept saying. I was like, there was something I needed to remember.
Yeah. He gave Greg a big dick, and he was like, "Give me points because I gave you a big dick." But he got a boom thing.
Oh yeah, the telescopic
boom, and ran through. He's got no concern for anyone's safety.
Daubed it, yeah,
and like shoved it in there, and he was like painting. I mean, it's sort of. He was mad. It was like watching a mad scientist at work. It was very sort of. Dr. Brown from Back to the Future, and the clown, but yeah, chaos.
Yeah, I'm enjoying him a lot.
Very
I feel
much
like
so.
I'm always like half madly impressed, and then he ruins it.
Yeah,
but I love the energy.
What's good about Jason is he goes for everything, full tilt, guns it, but he's also quite bad at it.
Yeah,
and he doesn't seem to mind. I think he even says, maybe in this episode, maybe it's, Matt said this to us as well, it was his aim to destroy the house.
Yes, yeah.
That's all he wants to do.
I think it's nice to have a side quest, a series side quest.
I don't think it was a side quest. I think it was the main quest.
The main quest.
I think the side quest may be getting some points or whatever, but I think the main aim for him is to destroy the house. He's tried to get on the roof numerous times already.
Oh, boy.
He really wants to do that. So... it's impressive to watch, but I do find it quite scary. We already know he keeps a lockpick set in his bag, so
Ooh. What an interesting man.
He's a very interesting man. And a lovely man, I should say. On screen and on podcasts. Definitely got a persona of slightly crazed gentleman.
Yeah. I like a crazy American.
Yeah.
Well, hey, maybe this is not the political climate.
Yeah.
I should be saying that.
To a certain degree.
To a certain degree.
Depending on how they illustrate their crazy. And Matt, very clever. He does what the others really should have thought about doing, getting the canvas closer, and just very delicately paints a lovely camping trip. He finds out that Alex and Greg have been camping before. It's a beautiful scene. The detail. It says fun on it.
Yeah.
He's thought that through. And a really lovely moment where the time gets to a certain point and Alex says, you can go inside the lab now. And he goes, okay. And takes one tiny little step inside the lab.
Yeah.
So nice. But I am struggling now. Every task I watch him in since the start of this episode, I am thinking, your ball's in or out. Every time he bends over.
Are they in or out?
Yeah. Are they
Can't
in or out?
concentrate on anything he's doing.
No.
Yeah.
And it sort of
I
made
will
me
be watching like a hawk.
Yeah,
for
it
the
sort
rest
of
of the
made me
series.
very aware of my own balls as well, quite a lot.
Are they in or out?
Because normally I'm like, obviously just live my life, right?
Yeah.
But after watching that, I'm like, my balls are there. I hope I can get over that because it's really going to have an adverse effect on my day to day.
A constant present. Are they Brexit or Remain today?
It's 51-49.
Is that okay? I'm just going to ask you,
Please.
and I don't assume you know about any other person's balls.
Yeah.
Are they usually the same size? Could it be a 50? I mean, that would be pretty similar.
No, I think it would be. I think it would be acceptable if they were slightly different sizes. It'd be weird if they were exactly the same. I think.
Okay.
There's always. I think there's normally. I don't want to speak for all bibbled people, but one hanging lower than the other.
Okay.
For me, left. So it. It was 1 point to Jason. It was a bad painting, but I think he was very proud of it.
Yeah.
2 points for Stevie, deserved. 3 points for Rosie. 4 points for Fatia. How do we feel about Fatia's getting more points than Rosie in this situation?
It had an artistic justification, I guess. Whereas it was clear that even if it was better,
Yeah.
it wasn't. Actually, no. Yeah, they were both shit. They were both shit.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And Matt deserved the 5 points, we think. So
Yeah,
yes,
he did.
well
He did.
done.
He did.
Let's talk about the live task. Take it in turns as teams to obey Greg's previous order. If you hesitate, your team loses the round. Highest score after 5 rounds wins. Now, I found this quite confusing to watch.
Yeah.
I got it eventually that you're doing the thing after, but then I didn't realise it was in turns for ages.
Yeah. Oh, was it in turns? I
Yeah.
thought they were just doing it like sort of. Oh, I thought it was in turns initially.
Yeah,
and then
it
they
was
were
in
doing
turns.
it. I thought they were just like sort of trying to confuse the other team.
No, I think it was in turns, but I would have been bad at this. I would not have been as bad as Rosie was
Yeah,
at this.
this is a classic. If
Who
you're
I
not
don't
as
think
bad as Rosie.
Yeah. I don't think she ever understood the game. She was always doing what was said to her in that moment.
Yeah.
Jason and Stevie, they're a good team.
They are a good team.
They seem to be on the same level.
And I think there was a real Stevie was so upset, and I think because there's just two of them as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like I've let the team down. I've ruined this. I've fucked this, and it's like it's fine.
Yeah.
Rosie.
Rosie's here. Never worry that you're going to do badly at this because Rosie's here. And I mean, Matthew to me, he's a very nice man, but he seems like he's very competitive.
Yes.
And he's very efficient as well. And I think being in that team is perfect for him because Fatty does not care.
Yes.
Fatty is there just to have fun, but sometimes she doesn't seem like she's having fun at all. Rosie is having a lovely time. She doesn't really care, and she's useless at this particular task.
Yeah.
So it must be frustrating for him, but I think he's doing a good job of hiding that.
Yeah, he's doing a good, I would say not perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's annoyed, but I think he is like, oh, I understand.
Yeah, I understand this. I just want everyone to know that I definitely understand this. Maybe all his anger goes to his balls.
Yeah, that's why they got to pop it.
Just
He's like the Hulk, but in one specific area.
Don't make me angry. My balls wouldn't like you if I'm angry. I'm so sorry, Matt, if you're listening to this, that we're just talking about your balls extensively, but you got them out. So it was 1 point
allegedly
for Matt, Fatia, and Rosie. I mean, just incredible. So funny to watch Rosie every time.
Yeah.
Smell. Okay, smell. No, that's not how it works. Jason and Stevie, 3 points each. They won 3 rounds. Very, very good. There was, of course, a 5-round draw where everyone did something wrong. Meaning, it's another victory for Matt. This is the 3rd episode in a row.
Hat-trick.
This is the hat trick, which is great because he is good. But we want someone else to win now, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Because we're only 3 episodes into the series.
And I didn't want to say that, but I do.
Yeah. It looks like he might do as well.
Yeah, well, I think if when you're good at everything, which is not the case when I won, so it was so everyone was very happy for me.
Yeah.
But when you're good at everything, it kind of is a bit like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a thing on because I certainly didn't win 3 in a row when I did Taskmaster, but House of Games, I won the first 3, and you start to feel like a prick.
Yeah.
You really do, because you're sat there going, well, these people have, they're here to...
Yeah, but they want a bit of Richard Osman's face on something.
Did that stop me answering all the questions really quickly? Of course it didn't.
No, but you felt bad. You continued to win.
I felt bad in my head, and then my mouth answered all the questions.
Wow. I think I think that's fine. I don't think we need to talk too much about House of Games, but I think it's fine. Were you on with people that weren't as clever as you?
No, I'd say. Well, also I'd say doing well.
I was going to say that it's your duty to crush them and expose their inferior intelligence.
What I'd say is being good at House of Games is no measure of genuine intelligence.
That is true. Yeah.
I think comics do very well on it because certainly the answer smash thing appeals to people who write jokes because of the way that it's constructed. No, I'd say everyone on mine was probably more intelligent than me.
That
in
must
the
have been
grander
really
scheme
frustrating
of things.
for them.
Because I had Kate Thornton, lovely lady, very intelligent, but just not at House of Games. I had Adrian Edmondson, who is leagues ahead of me in intelligence, and Makita Oliver, who's definitely sharper.
Maybe they just didn't need it as much.
I think that's what it is. Makita wanted it, but bad luck, Makita. Anyway, you'll have to tune into my House of Games podcast to hear more about that. So this episode won by Matt with 13 points. Very closely behind was Fatia with 12. Then Stevie on 11, Jason on 10, and Rosie on 8. Still all to play for. We're only 3 episodes in, but Matt's on 55 and second is Stevie with 41. So the lead is extending.
Oh, yeah.
We do need someone to come through and win an episode that isn't Matt, I think.
I think that would be nice now.
Yeah, I think he'd enjoy it as well. Sophie, thank you so much for coming back on the Taskmaster podcast.
Thank you for having me.
You are touring still.
Yes, I still have some tour of But Daddy, I Love Her, which is my latest show.
But Daddy, I Love Her.
Sorry, it's pronounced But Daddy, I Love Her.
I know, you've made me do that before. It makes me feel uncomfortable, as you well know.
Hey, it's fine.
You're going to Australia to do some dates.
I'm going to Australia. I'm going to be in Sydney, I think, around the 14th and 15th of May. Should check that, but I'm doing a bunch of dates there.
15th to the 18th of May.
15th and 18th of May.
And this episode, now, if you're listening to this on the day it comes out, it's the 14th. So,
oh my God.
If you are in Sydney, we do have Australian listeners. Go and see Sophie.
Okay, people in Sydney, you gotta come.
You gotta come to those shows.
In Australia.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have a lovely time. The Australian audiences will love you. There's lots of Taskmaster fans out there.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have a wonderful time. Now, we always ask our guests to rate their experience on the podcast between 1 and 5 points, please, Sophie Duker.
Okay. So this has been a lovely chat.
Yes.
I've enjoyed recapping this episode. One side of my body has been on fire.
Yes.
For 45
you are sat
minutes.
directly in the sun.
I'm sat directly in the sun. I was advised to move, but I like the caress of the sun on my thigh.
But there's less caressing going on. It's sort of active punches today, I'd say.
It's a spanking.
Yeah.
And I also feel like I'm sweaty on one side as well.
Oh, me too.
I'm going to say, can I do half points or just...
You can do half points if you want.
I think a 3.2. That's not a half, is it?
No. Not traditionally.
3.2.
3.2. Look, we'll take 3.2 because it is warm in here.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a jacket for some reason. So we're going to...
That's nuts.
Yeah, it is nuts. But I'll tell you what, we're recording another episode after this. And in my head, I thought, well, if we're filming it, we're putting clips out. I don't want people knowing it was the same day. So maybe I'll wear the jacket for this one and then pop it off for the t-shirt.
And the next one be really sweaty.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm wearing a purple t-shirt, so there'll be huge patches on it. So look forward to that next week, guys. But thank you so much, Sophie. Let's go outside and cool down.
Thank you.
For more Taskmaster, subscribe now.